Hello, Weebs and Normies. Welcome to the Anime Club. I'm Graham.
And I'm George.
All right, George. This is it. It's finally time.
We're getting answers this time. 100%.
Yes.
Last time, I said 100%, but I was just rounding up. It was like 99.86%. This time, 100%.
100%.
Because I don't know what I would do if it wasn't 100%.
Yes, for sure. 100% we'll definitely be getting answers. That's definitely not cope. Absolutely.
Yes.
Also, it's finally time for Graham to be truly blind watching ReZero.
Yes.
Because this is a new era and a new age. Now, that being said, I'm genuinely surprised that I have retained so little about season 2.
Yeah.
Sounds
like
odd
you were
amount.
really checked out.
Yeah, it's like an odd amount. Like, I have a pretty good memory for this kind of thing, and I was genuinely shocked. And I don't, and like you said, I genuinely mean I must have been very checked out. There must have been a period of time where I was just so out of it. So,
Sure.
Yeah, but
you're not out of it now.
I'm not out of it now, and it's been a great time.
Neck deep in this freaking mystery.
Yes.
And we need answers, bro.
Yes.
So
yes, we need answers.
I need you fully sentient and aware so that you can, through Weeb osmosis, give me the answers that I know the show won't.
Beep, 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 beep. Beaming my consciousness to be absolutely fully aware and ready for ReZero. Thank you, George.
Very good.
Thank you. Very good.
Nice.
Well, any predictions? I mean, we're going to get answers for sure, not cope.
100%, dude.
What
Betty is just going to he's going to say the magic words and it's going to be word salad from her mouth. She's going to open the book and just read beginning to end, and the rest of the season's going to be her reading the gospel. And they'll be like, "Oh, I finally understand. All right, let's go."
That's crazy. Wow, that's
all
amazing.
the questions answered.
Yeah, the only problem is, do you even think we're going to get to Betty? Because we're at the witch right now. He just reset to the witch. I don't know if we're even getting to Betty in the next 2 episodes.
Dude, Subaru better hightail it over there. If he doesn't, he'll be a very dumb man. So
yeah,
we'll see what happens.
I mean, I guess so. Yeah.
No, if we're real, actual predictions, there are none. I don't actually expect us to get any answers. I expect us to get more questions. Actually, I do have one prediction. We're gonna get more questions. That's a given.
That's a sure. That's a sure prediction. For sure. Yeah. Surely, no, I genuinely think, we're with Echidna now. This is the second meeting. This isn't the introducing the character meeting. This is it's time for a lore dump, right?
Hopefully.
Yeah, for sure. I'm genuinely certain that we're going to get information from Echidna. I don't know what kind of information it's going to be. I think she's going to give a bunch of answers, but then the pinnacle answers that we really want are going to come from Betty, but I don't think we're going to get those just yet.
Why do you think Echidna wouldn't have that information, but Betty would? Do you think maybe she's been out of touch because she's been stuck here?
Because Betty is a previous witch.
Ah, okay. Well, so is Echidna.
Yes, but she's been imprisoned, and Betty is a free agent.
So it is because she's been imprisoned out of can't see stuff. Okay.
Yeah,
okay.
So, I mean, that's the light theory I've got going on at least. So we'll see.
I think that's what's going to happen, and that's why we're not going to get a whole lot of answers. But some would be nice. We'll see.
Some
see what
would
happens.
be nice. All right.
I also expect some more Subaru suffering because that's, it's a 50-50 chance whether he's going to suffer greatly in any given episode. So some Subaru suffering is probably going to come our way.
Definitely what the doctor ordered when it comes to ReZero. Have we reached the point of Subaru suffering is over? Because there's always that moment where it's okay, he suffered enough and now it's time for the good things to happen. Do you think?
Oh, I see. Okay, so you're talking this season.
Not as a series and a season, but I mean for this I don't know what to call it. Arc. Yeah. For this arc. Are we out of the woods now and we're on the correct path? Have we hit that?
I think we've hit the pinnacle of physical suffering.
Okay.
I don't think you can do much worse than last time's
being
death with
small
the bunnies.
bitten to death, gnawed on to literal freaking death.
That was brutal. That was brutal.
Unbelievable.
So yeah, being broken down emotionally, psychologically, spiritually. I don't think we're there yet. It's also possible that.
Well, she said his soul was about to crumble. Like he had broken.
True.
Remember?
I totally forgot about that. Yeah, that's a good point.
She
so maybe
said like
both.
it was over,
Yeah,
bro.
if it wasn't,
it was.
What was it that she said that saved him? It was
if not that she had brought him in here, and I think it was the sloth factor ?
That's what it was.
Calming
him.
him.
The sloth factor. Yeah.
Right. That he'd be frecked. He would have actually finally cracked. So like for all intents and purposes, Subaru cracked, man. Like you were saying, like when do you not freaking lose it? When do you break?
True.
Well, that's it. Being gnawed to freaking death by a bunch of freaking rabbits will absolutely crack a man.
Yeah.
Rightfully so. That's
It's so interesting though that the sloth, I know we talked a little bit about it last time, but like still the sloth factor is indeed what saved him in the end.
Yeah.
Man, there's so many like potential mechanics that can come from that. It's just hard to say because we don't know how they work exactly. All right. Well, I say we push forward and hopefully we find out something these next 2 episodes.
Sounds good. Let's do it.
Let's do it. Overwhelmed with rage. Oh.
What? Talking about the Witch of Envy? Yeah.
The Witch of Envy,
wow. Why would she be upset? Yeah, that's a freaking question, isn't it?
Yeah.
Well, no answers for that, George.
Dang.
Oh.
This is... Yeah, this would be good to know. There isn't? Okay.
Dang.
Okay. That's actually a big answer. Actually.
Oh. Bro.
Intense delusion. The power that lets you return by death. Yeah.
Bro. Look at his frickin' face here when he hears that there isn't a limit.
Yeah, it's
Think
not
about
a
what that
happy,
means.
joyous face.
It means you never die.
You never die. You age, but you never die. Bro, imagine a scenario where you're just bedridden because you're so sick. And like the last 2 months of your life are just pure torture and pain and death, and you're just sick. But you die. And then you return to the last checkpoint, which is 2 months before, dude.
Oh
that's
my gosh.
That's hell.
Think about it.
Worse than that, man.
Right now, Subaru is older mentally than his biological age by like months, potentially.
True. Yeah. Yeah.
Eventually, you're going to be 50 years old, but 200 years old.
Oh, man, that's rough.
Holy frick. I didn't even think about that just now, but I you know, it's so weird when she's like, there isn't. It's like, oh, well, that's a relief. And then I was like, I saw Subaru's face and I was like, that's not a relief, actually.
No.
Huh.
But I'm glad we know now that there is no limit because there's the huge spectrum of things. That narrows it, not a lot, but it narrows it slightly, right? Like the angles have just, slightly constricted a little bit.
Yeah.
Yes, but why?
Oh.
Whoa. It allows you to redo destiny. I don't want to pause it so much. It allows you to redo destiny and not make any mistakes.
Yeah. What?
Okay. I don't want to keep pausing it, so I'm going to keep playing, but let's put a pin on that because I have a few things to say about that.
All right.
Oh.
Interesting.
The witch is guiding him.
Oh, don't say that.
Yeah, those are quite the words to say to a witch, dude. The Great Rabbit. Oh no, is this something like the whale? The 3 great mobbies. The white whale,
The
black serpent, and great rabbit.
The black serpent.
Yes,
Wasn't
from
that
the movie.
Yeah, with the venom.
It was like sludge, or whatever that was.
Yeah, that like sentient venom was from the black serpent. I'm pretty sure, right? Yeah.
Yeah. 400 years ago by Daphne, the Witch of Gluttony.
Okay, so created by gluttony. Why would gluttony have a power to create things like that? That's so weird. Maybe this is really freaking morbid, but or not morbid per se, but what if they like eat a bunch of stuff and all of the magic condenses and then they poop out this super strong magic beast?
I don't know if that's how it works, bro.
I mean, that's the only thing I can think of. Why would gluttony have the power to create like that, right? That's weird.
Well, it feels like the Witch of Envy has powers not... I guess there are ways to interpret her powers as envious.
Envying the other timelines.
Or something, yeah. Like that's one thing we learned with Betelgeuse is sloth the freaking room they have to like interpret things as large.
Yeah.
And so like maybe there's like a way in which it can be gluttonous even though they're creating something or
yes, yeah. Okay. Right.
Yeah, because you got to destroy all of them.
Yeah, probably.
So, yeah, it's on its way right now to the sanctuary. At the same time? Bro.
Yeah, no kidding.
Oh my gosh, yeah.
Bro, there's so much.
There's so much, yeah.
Okay.
Oh,
what?
What?
With you? What?
Yeah, what?
Wait.
Oh.
Hold on. The souls of the dead witches reside with me in the castle, in this castle of dreams. All of them?
Sounds like it. And it sounds like this sanctuary, maybe this is conjecture here, but it sounds like the sanctuary is the physical location of her body and soul, but then there's like this dream, castle of dreams plane where like no matter where their soul and bodies were physically laid to rest, they all inhabit this like additional plane. That's what I'm thinking.
I understand that interpretation. That makes sense. Yeah, my interpretation was like maybe they had all been placed here, right? This was like the sealing grounds for when they killed them. They brought their souls specifically to trap them here.
That could also be the case. Yeah, it's hard to say.
It's hard to say, yeah. But in this castle of dreams is kind of ambiguous. Like, is that a physical place? Is it like this realm? Like, what is this exactly? Because if they're dead, like if it's off of what you're saying, they could have died anywhere and then gone to this location. Yeah, it's hard to say.
Yeah.
Oh boy. Uh-oh. Does that mean they control the area?
Oh, jeez. Would the Witch of Envy let him die, though? Right? Because if this isn't according to the witch's destiny...
No, but it's not about death. She's saying, like, if he has a psychiatric break here, then...
Yes.
It's going to follow him to the outside.
Yeah, let's say he goes back to the outside in a comatose state mentally. And he's just like, drooling at the mouth, whatever. That wouldn't be according to the witch's destiny. So could she just reach out her hand, crush his heart like she does so many times?
I don't think so. I don't think so because like his mental state travels to the back, right? travels back to the past, right? So even if he goes back in time, if he's freaking shattered,
I see what you're saying.
there's no amount of looping that's gonna fix that. He's just fricked.
Yeah.
Right? His soul, his mental state like crumbles. My question is what she's saying is that if she is in control of this area right now, if she switches, the only way for her to get back is for the other witch to like switch back?
Relent? Maybe.
Is that what she's saying? Huh. Holy frick. Restraints?
Don't release Daphne's restraints. Oh.
What the frick is this thing?
I wish you the best.
Holy frick.
Don't look her in the eye, bro. Listen.
Holy frick. Just look at the ground. Look at the table. What?
Don't look at her. Don't look at her. Don't look at her, bro.
She's so cute.
I wondered about that this whole time. Bro, what are you doing? Oh my gosh.
No!
Oh my gosh, bro.
Oh no.
Don't be so dumb, dude. Oh my gosh. She ripped his freaking arm.
I didn't even see that.
Oh my gosh, dude.
Bro.
A bad guy. What is
What is happening? Wait, what?
There's another witch?
I don't understand.
Oh, there's a witch of lust?
Anger, though.
Oh, maybe this is a witch of... What is happening? Oh my gosh.
What is happening? I'm so confused.
Yeah, same. Wrath. Okay,
Minerva.
it is Wrath. What?
I'm so confused.
Yeah.
iPhone, whatever. This is what we agreed to. So, the first one was Typhon?
No. That wasn't it? Well, we can go back after the fact. I forget. I should paying closer attention to their names. I did not expect multiple witches to show up. I just expected gluttony.
I'm so confused. Okay, so I think so because when the first one left, first of all, she didn't have any restraints. Right? I was about to pause it and say like,
no,
she doesn't have any restraints.
No, so she said don't release her restraints, and then she's like, don't touch her. So it's got to be like some sort of magical thing. That's how I took it as soon as
but
she
then
said,
when
like,
she left,
touching her,
she said Typhon. And I thought, okay, I don't know what that means, so I just didn't think about it. But then now this girl, Minerva, is saying Typhon, and now he's saying Typhon.
Yeah. We'll have to watch this back again. We can come back after the episode and watch this again.
Everything's going so fast, and it's just like,
yeah.
Oh my gosh.
Oh no, here's a different witch.
Okay. Okay, so this is Daphne. What the frick is going on? Oh my gosh, of course. What the frick?
Okay. Oh, so this is gluttony? The others weren't gluttony.
Yeah,
I guess you're right. So it was physical restraints. It wasn't some sort of magical thing.
Yeah, so she said at the beginning of this conversation that she was Daphne. She's like, what do you want to ask of Daphne? So I guess I just assumed she was talking in the third person. So yeah, it likely is whatever this person who's like in this freaking thing. All right.
Oh my gosh.
Oh.
They can have infinite food. Yeah, I see.
Bro, this goes
interesting.
Right? This is fucking weird. Ah, yeah. Frick.
What an interesting interpretation of gluttony here. That
yeah. Do you think that, man, it plays into the, like, the witches aren't actually evil, but maybe their actions were like intended to be good
or like
but misinterpreted,
not well thought out. Yeah, exactly. It does feed into that a lot.
Bro.
So she's very like neutral.
Yeah.
Towards just gluttony, I guess. Interesting perspective. Okay. Interesting. Okay.
Right. Okay. That's the weakness.
Dude, don't tell her that. Come on. Oh my gosh.
Yeah, why would he say this?
Yeah, dude, don't.
Dude.
Oh my gosh.
Jeez, that thing is cool though. The like fucking spider legs. That's actually so sick. Oh.
Oh, that's what happened.
Pride.
The Witch of Pride.
Dude, she was insane.
Yeah.
Oh my gosh. Yes, she's saying don't butter me up, and then she's giving him sweets and more tea, and she's like, that's not gonna make me happy. Like, okay, bro.
Yeah, she could be trying to manipulate him here. Oh.
What? Is the witch pulling him back?
Oh.
Oh. Oh, she's waking him up.
Huh.
Huh.
Is it like desire-wise louder?
Yeah.
Or like actually louder, right? Yeah, why does she want this?
'Cause she's greedy?
I guess.
That person's?
Perhaps a bit of meddling as well.
What?
I don't trust her, dude.
Bro, she's
got... Yeah, she's got like double intentions.
What is going on with that? That's freaking
Payment
weird.
Received.
Oh. George, more questions.
Interesting. Interesting.
Uh-oh.
Oh boy. Oh. Oh.
What the frick?
Whoa.
What the frick?
What is this? Oh my gosh. It's everywhere.
What the frick? Bro, how could this be this different from her just getting up?
Know. Oh,
whoa.
It's the Witch of Envy, dude.
Dude, is she freaking pissed?
I wonder. Oh my gosh. It
You're
is.
right.
It is. Oh, dude.
No freaking way.
I love you.
What?
She's gonna kill him?
What the frick?
Oh, oh.
No way. What?
We're gonna jump?
Bro, what?
Oh my gosh. What is this, like unseen hand times 1,000?
Right? Why would he save him? And how could he do that to her? Where's Emilia?
Yeah, where is Emilia?
Why wouldn't she follow Subaru? No way.
Oh my gosh, it was able to sense Ram and her and their care for him?
Why?
Oh my gosh, dude.
I don't understand. Why would it go to the mansion?
Because she felt when she hugged him, she felt his feelings towards Ram. Because they came up in his mind as she was hugging him. Remember? Like he saw flashes of them. I thought it was just like showing stuff, right? But I guess that's who his mind went to at that moment. Why, I don't exactly know. But she felt his love or care for them. And she's jealous, she's envious, and is now going to the mansion to try and kill them so that they're gone, I suppose. That's my prediction or my take or interpretation on it. Could be wrong.
Okay, let's check that out in a second. We'll check if there's any ending scene, and then we will check that out.
Sure.
Okay,
yeah.
Let's see this here.
Uh-oh.
Bro.
He has a gospel too? What? What? Try not to make any mistakes next time, Natsuki Subaru. Bro! What? He knows. He knows, dude. Like, it was always like freaking. We always suspected it. Oh my gosh. But it hits so much harder knowing for a fact that he knows.
He fucking knows, bro.
Okay. He's got a gospel. I guess. What is it that Betty said last time about the gospel? She said that, like, the gospel dictates the future. I suppose,
something
right?
like that.
So, okay, and then what we were saying about, or what I wanted to put a pin on in the beginning, it says that the witch is trying to make him walk through destiny, right? That must mean the dictator of that destiny is the witch herself. She is guiding him through the path because she's the one that deems there's no mistakes. Right?
Yes, that's right. And we speculated that she would potentially update the checkpoint depending on what happens according to how she wants things to go. Like if he goes right.
Yeah, that answers how the checkpoint mechanic works. The witch chooses it. She's like, all right, you have walked the path that I wanted you to walk.
Right.
Boom. You know, now you're at another crossroads, right? Mm-hmm. You have 2 choices, 3, whatever.
Right.
But from this point back, you've done exactly what I wanted. Now the question is, what is she leading him to?
Right.
She says she loves him.
Yeah, so...
But it's like in such a creepy, not actual love way.
Yeah.
I love you, I love you.
She hugs him.
Yeah, he thinks of Rem, he thinks of Petra.
I didn't even notice that, George. I
think it's maybe because they're fresh on his mind, right? He's like, I need to take everybody back to the mansion.
I can't believe he was able to like separate the two. Like you would think that the Witch of Envy would just fucking delete that guy by looking at him, basically.
I think there's like a bit of a Sauron situation. Sauron without the one ring is highly weakened. This is like her still in the seal is still
dead,
highly weakened
sealed
version. Yeah, exactly. Right. I think if she's out and alive or resurrected or whatever, there's no stopping her. She's well, I guess they already stopped her in the past, right? But like,
right.
no killing her, and he couldn't do anything about it.
Huh. So she's going to the mansion because she's envious of
Rem and Petra. Yeah.
Why did he think about Rem and Petra? He didn't think about like Emilia at all. Like, just it's such a random thing for him to think about those two in this exact scenario.
I think it's because that's who was most fresh in his mind as far as like a objective.
Emilia just disappeared from the room they were in. She is allegedly potentially outside. That's a good point. He walks outside and his first thought is, what's happening with Rem and Petra back at the mansion days from now when they're going to be in danger? That doesn't make any sense. He should immediately think of Emilia.
Yeah. I do wonder why his mind went
Emilia
to that.
is potentially in serious freaking danger. She's gone, and there's a black miasma everywhere. Like, hello? That's crazy.
Yeah.
So, that is very strange.
It's hard to say. Like,
she,
what's her face? Echidna was just talking to him about the neckerchief, right?
Yeah.
So, like, Petra was in his mind. He was talking about, I need to go back to the mansion, take everybody back. So, like, it's hard to know exactly why certain thoughts spring to his mind above others, but it's a fair point. Like, why Emilia is literally missing. So,
I
maybe
wonder
it's something else. Maybe it's because she wants to use Emilia as a vessel, right? And so she doesn't want to kill Emilia no matter what. And so
how do we know that that's not Emilia right there who's been possessed? Right? This is a bad freaking outcome.
It's possible. Possible.
Yeah. So if she's left...
Yeah, go ahead. Okay, go ahead.
If she's left alone in the trial, some bad freaking stuff happens real freaking soon after. Like...
Yeah.
This is a bad freaking outcome.
The witch of Echidna, she said that she's no longer interested in the outcome of Emilia's trial. And she's like, why are you making Emilia cry? And she's like, I'm not the one making her cry.
Yeah, and she said she doesn't believe that she'll be able to do it. She's like, she's not going to be able to do it, just straight up.
Yeah.
But then she said, maybe you could do it with enough trial and error, basically. If you could help her overcome and not be so cowardly. Right? And then he's like, why does it sound like you're provoking me to do that? Right?
Yeah.
And then he said, no, I'm going to do the trial. Right?
The witch, I'm going to call it now. Like, maybe she has real feelings for him, but she's like hardcore manipulating Subaru.
100% she is. It could be both. You're totally right.
Likely both, right? But there's some major manipulation going on.
She's totally manipulating him. Is she? But the question is, like, is she goading him to like get him to help Emilia actually, or is she goading him in that way so that he'll feel resentful and then be like, no, I'm gonna do it. Right? That's the question. It's freaking hard to say. What I do want to see again, though, is...
Yes, I was just going to ask. Let's see this ending scene one more time.
We got to watch this one more time. Goodness, what terrible luck. So, you think this is witch miasma?
I think so.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay. So, we'll just watch this. And
what is this, under his pillow?
Yeah, it's under his pillow. It
looks like it's under his pillow.
Frickin' guys had this the whole time, dude.
Yeah, dude.
Motherfricker. And without even knowing the outcome of the trial, is he talking about himself? He doesn't know the outcome of the trial? Yeah, it must be, right? Because the trial just ended. He doesn't know what happened. Now the outcome of the trial is like, oh, I don't even know.
Yeah. Yeah, like he doesn't know like how who wins the trial or all that stuff, like what happens,
So why would he want to know that? Why would he want to know what the outcome of the trial is?
I suspect it has to do with the fact that his family has been watching over the Witch of Greed for who knows how long.
So he's interested in finding out if they've done it or not.
That and more like he knows more about like the nature of the trial or like what happens when you beat it or whatever. Like, but yeah, it's like something in that vicinity, right?
I was going to say, maybe it's something to do with, like, he wants to know the ending of the trial so he can, like, send that information back in time. But there's other timelines where he has known the outcome of the trial, so that wouldn't make sense. So,
Sure.
If you wish to walk through hell, I will gladly accompany you. And he frickin' hugs the gospel. If you wish to live in hell,
then hell is what I shall strive for.
This dude is absolutely smit with the witches.
I think he's talking to Subaru right here. I think that's what he's talking to. Let's see how he ends it. Let's see how he ends it. Try not to make any mistakes next time. And he says, Natsuki Subaru. Yeah, I think he's talking to Subaru. I think that's who he's talking to.
So he's interpreting this scenario as Subaru has decided to go through hell. Right? If he's talking about Subaru, that's the interpretation you have to take, is it not?
I see it as in like these statements are almost like swearing fealty to Subaru in his heart. And he's just like, whatever it is that you do, I will follow, but I still think you made a mistake. Right? Like, I will follow you to the ends of the earth, but just don't walk off the edge of the earth kind of type of statement, right? I think this is I acknowledge that you made a mistake, but even through your mistakes, I swear fealty to you.
Interesting.
That's my interpretation.
Why?
Could be
why then?
Else.
If that is the case, it just seems so weird. Because
his gospel tells him, Subaru is that person, right? He's supposed to tell Betty, I am that person.
Yeah, so Roswaal and Betty have a gospel that's told them about a person who can go back in time and correct things. And Roswaal has figured out that Subaru is that person. And he's saying, tell Betty that you're that person. She'll do anything you want. That's crazy. Yes. So he's like a prophesied guy that they've been waiting for. They're like, he's here. He's arrived.
The one. He's Neo.
No
Neo
way.
Is here.
That's crazy.
Now, this begs the question, though. Who wrote those gospels?
Yeah.
Was it the Witch of Envy? Because the Witch of Envy is trying to guide Subaru down the destiny that she deems, right?
Yeah.
And
didn't Subaru basically say he was going to try and defy her destiny through her own power, basically? He's like, frick you, I'm going to use this power to defy you.
As many times as it takes. Which is like, bro, if she has the power to like she can incrementally, like it's been like a few days now, but if she can like literally minute by minute reset the checkpoint, like I don't know how you would do that, right?
Yeah.
But yeah, so the question is, did the Witch of Envy write this gospel? In which case, I mean, it's almost like set in stone, right? Like like Subaru might think he has the liberty.
Hold on.
To
why do we assume that the Witch of Envy wrote this? I'm
saying there's the possibility that she wrote it, and then there's also the possibility that somebody else wrote it. If the witch wrote it, it doesn't sound like Subaru has much liberty to really defy the witch. And then these gospels then are factual, and Betty and Roswaal, I don't know, like they'll follow Subaru because that's what they've decided to devote their life to, and then by extension, they're now devoting their life to Subaru or something, right? It's possible that the Gospels were written by another entity, either as powerful or more powerful than the witch, in which case it sounds like Subaru potentially has the power to defy the witch. I fall on the side of it'll be incredibly hard, but Subaru has the power to defy the witch.
Yeah, I wonder if there's so many questions about these frickin' books, dude. First of all, like who wrote them, of course, but then there's like, if they were written by the witch or not, are they now an independent magical entity that functions by itself, independent of the witch, or does the witch or the creator actively write the things in it? Right? Is the book orchestrating the future or only the future that the witch thinks is imminent and wants to be imminent, and therefore influences the course of events through the books itself? Or does the book reflect the change in timelines that Subaru brings upon by going back and, rewriting history? Do you think interpret that or not?
Do you think that the book is fully written and unchanging?
I don't think so. Didn't they say that the book is only written like just ahead? Isn't that what Mather said earlier? He's like, it's just like right ahead of what happens.
Oh, okay,
right. It's only the person who looks at it. Right.
I don't remember, but I think you might be right. I like vaguely remember something like that.
Right. It could have, what? That could have been from a comment that was explaining cut content of things that weren't explained in the previous season, or things that were just cut, like explanations that were cut. But basically, from what my understanding is...
Maybe that's why I don't explicitly remember.
Right, right. It's possible. I believe that only the person who owns the gospel can read that gospel. Right?
Okay.
Hopefully that's not like a spoiler that we've been spoiled on, but that's what information that I believe is cut content, like cut details.
Let's assume that's the case.
Sure.
How that brings a few additional questions. How does the book itself determine ownership? Like, let's say you had it and it's on your coffee table for some reason. I show up at your house, I pick it up. Would it be blank for me?
Right. Yeah.
Just nothing in there?
Yeah, maybe.
Okay.
Yeah.
So then I wonder how it's determined who is the owner. Is it an Elder Wand situation where the new owner has to kill the previous owner to get freaking ownership,
yeah,
right?
Also, there was the cut content. Yes. Now that we're talking about cut content from a comment, I'll have to look up exactly who this comment is from and give them proper credit. But there was also cut information that Betty remembers Rem.
Oh, no way.
Yeah.
She remembers Rem.
Yeah.
Oh,
so
dang.
Yeah, that was apparently cut content that
Rem. Why would they cut that? That feels like such a big revelation.
That's what I said when I made a comment to this comment saying, holy frick, this seems like a really big, thick freaking thing to cut. Like, what?
Okay. So that makes me think that A, Roswaal also knows about Rem, but B, more importantly, this book circumvents the witch's powers. I think this was written by somebody else.
Not because of the book. I will...
Oh, it's not because of the book? Okay.
Okay, so it's Prishkevich gave us a comment on Patreon. Okay. Hopefully, I take on their word that this is cut content and not like spoilers and stuff. Hopefully, freaking not. That would be really bad. But basically, so the blue glowing stone, just to kind of backtrack slightly, is a crystal that contains mana as variety of uses, such as the power source in order to avoid wasting your own mana, or spells can be implemented in them, in which case a teleportation spell when it comes in contact with the barrier of the sanctuary. Because we did ask for information about this kind of stuff. We were quite confused. So, yeah.
Okay, that makes sense.
The barrier itself, they talked about that. You talked a lot about clairvoyance. I think you have it confused with something else. Ram can use clairvoyance, which is an old Oni art that allows you to see what others see. It does have some recoil on the user, but the ability to share senses and feelings that Ram and Rem have with each other is the feelings that Ram and Rem have for each other is called synthesia.
Okay. All right. So they're two separate
things.
Got it.
Also, a common misconception people have when they watch the anime, thinking that Beatrice gets weaker outside the library. She doesn't necessarily. A bit of season 1 cut content, namely episode 23, is that Betty remembers Rem. And then specifically, again, I don't know if this borderline's on frickin' spoilers, but it's because the library is an isolated pocket dimension.
Oh, so it's not because of the book. Okay.
It's because of the library. That's
An
pretty
isolated
wild.
pocket dimension.
Yeah.
Oh,
so,
bro.
Freaking people are going to be really upset at this commenter if these are spoilers, or really happy that they filled in some gaps. I know that there was other people. I should be giving credit to everyone. There were a lot of people that gave us really awesome comments explaining some stuff last time. So we appreciate that quite a bit. But yeah, that's basically to fill in those little blanks here to help us with our
So it's not because of the book.
Not because of the book.
Because
Mathers doesn't remember Rem. Right? Remembering Rem and knowing Rem from the book saying that Rem is a person and exists is two different things, right? Like specifically, Betty remembers Rem.
Yeah. Okay. Well, so then back to the books here.
Yes.
They're not complete.
Right.
But they forge ahead slightly.
Right.
Yeah, I still think they weren't written by the witch.
That's reasonable.
Yeah. Because I feel like if it was written by the witch as well, that just like lowers the things within the story that are hinting at Subaru's ability to defy the witch.
Right.
Like there's his own like sense of like free will and stuff, and his own determination to do so. How could you defy the witch if you can just like, dude, she'll let you live out your whole life till you die of old age, and you'll reset back 50 years ago to the point in time where you made the wrong choice, right?
You also make the assumption that the witch can't bring the checkpoint backwards.
That's a good point.
Right?
Yeah.
We don't know that she can't just be like, oh, actually, let's bring it back just to frickin' freak you out. Let's bring you back a little bit, right? I can do all sorts of things.
It does sound, if she is trying to guide him towards his destiny or towards a destiny, it does seem a little bit counterintuitive that she would, but I do agree that it's not confirmed that she can't. It sounds almost like she could if she wanted to.
Right. Yeah. So, I don't know, bro. There's a lot of freaking ways to interpret what's happening right now, but we have one more episode that will hopefully give some freaking answers.
Oh boy, dude, this ending was insane.
Yes.
I'm so glad you checked that there is a freaking post-credit scene.
Oh yeah.
Whew. All right.
Well, let's get to the next one, shall we?
Let's do it.
Dang.
Oh, dang.
She saved him.
She saved him.
Ram would be able to detect that sooner, I would imagine. Oh, what the frick?
Whoa. Yeah, what are these?
They're so cute.
They ain't hurt. They're empty on the inside.
Oh, what the frick?
She has an ability to clone herself?
The frick?
Huh. Dude, I don't think you can stop her with sheer numbers, man. This is not gonna work.
Bro, that is not gonna work.
Immediately.
You're freaking done.
Dude.
They're like
exploding?
bombs!
Yeah, what?
Oh. Holy
jeez.
frick!
Oh my gosh, dude. It was exploded from the inside out, dude.
Got freaking evaporated.
Yeah. Dude, that sounds a bit like Emilia.
That's not good. Don't say that.
She did not want to hear that. It was deleted.
Oh boy.
He didn't die? Love me.
Love me.
Oh my gosh. What is happening? Oh.
What the frick?
She's like seeing his life.
Oh, she freaking like.
Yeah, what?
She saved him from like eternal freaking torture, basically.
Yeah, how? I want to know the mechanics of this, but.
Oh, it's like a sword or dagger. Oh,
oh.
Oh no.
Interesting. She can't save him. She has the power to kill him, but not the power to save him.
What the frick, bro? It's Emilia.
It's Emilia. No.
Oh, it's
way.
not.
Yeah, maybe it's not. The eyes look similar.
But the eyelashes are different.
Oh.
It is?
I'm going to save you? It is Emilia. It is, dude.
Oh. Oh, she's not there? Frick. What the frick? Oh, she's there. Holy frick.
Yeah.
Oh my gosh.
The eyelash.
Oh, man.
Dude, I think Emilia is a vessel. If the ordeal was allowed to go through, she would have passed it. Bro, what do you mean why you're shaking?
He's afraid of her.
Oh, that's what it is. Okay. Oh, dude.
Bro.
She woke up differently this time. Oh my gosh. Bro.
Her eyelashes were different.
Be careful how you react right now, Subaru.
Oh, dude, he is freaking freaked up. Bro.
Oh my gosh, dude.
Bro, Satella has like fricked him up.
That's rough.
Bro. Oh, man. So it wasn't Emilia.
I don't know.
The eyelashes were different.
Yes, but it could be like, it's not Emilia in spirit, but she is the vessel that was taken over. And so it was like physically Emilia, but by the act of her being possessed.
Right, she kind of transformed slightly. Yes, yeah. I understand. Frick, dude. Oh, man, that's so fricked. I'm so freaking confused, though.
Come on, Ram.
Classic freaking Ram. I want to know so badly more than anything else in this whole freaking show what happened between her waking up, leaving, not even waking up Subaru, or maybe she tried to wake up Subaru, he wouldn't wake up, so she ran out to get help, and then this happened. I want to know so freaking badly what happened in that last timeline that caused whatever the frick that was to happen.
100%.
Holy frick.
Yeah. That's how he's playing it off? Oh my gosh, dude. If they only knew.
Oh. You know, that's a great freaking point. She mentally saw, like, from what I'm interpreting right now, she saw him freaking needing help, and she's like, I gotta freaking pick myself up.
True.
Right?
Yeah.
She said, I don't have time to feel sorry for myself and what's just happened. I need to freaking help someone else. Huh.
Yeah.
I think, from what we've gathered so far, she desperately wants duty and responsibility. She wants people to like her. She wants to help others. And I think
she wants
nothing
to feel needed.
Yes, nothing puts her into freaking gear more than seeing people who need help. And she freaking flipped it. She's like, yeah, we're putting myself aside. We got stuff to do. But when it comes to herself, she's like freaking useless. It's bizarre.
Yeah.
Woo!
Oh my gosh.
What?
Does he smell worse or better right now?
Yeah.
That's what I want to know.
Exactly my question. Exactly my question, bro.
Dang. What a thought
So,
process, dude. This is
I know.
yeah. Just like,
like,
all right, let's see how this time works out, right? Let's see
he's
what I
like
can
fully
make happen.
preparing himself. He's like, we'll see what I can test this time. They'll brutally die, and then we'll try some stuff out.
Because the rabbits are coming, dude. They're on their way. 4 days is all he has.
He knows he's about to be eaten alive by these freaking rabbits, bro.
My goodness,
that
dude.
and not alone is freaking.
How do you keep going? How do you I say this every single time, dude.
How do you keep going is right.
Yeah, I don't know.
Well, thankfully he's got a little magic helping him. We can now officially say a normal human man would not be able to put up with this. He would have broke a long time ago. Yes. That being said, I think it's really interesting that she's had such a change in her mental state and stance. She's had a real call to action when she saw Subaru like that. And then she said, I liked seeing you like that. Like, it showed me, like, that you're a human freaking being. Because at this point, Subaru is like this freaking... He's like the Rudy of freaking... I can do no wrong, right? Like, he's the guy who's being put up on a pedestal because he's doing everything just right and he's unstoppable. And so he's like, well, I don't want you to see that part. Like, I'm going to do the things that will... Like, for me, I don't know. That was a huge red flag for me of like, he's saying, I don't want you to see any of those things. I want you to only see the good parts. And I was like, when he resets, he's probably going to do that. He's probably going to try and not cry and not. But I'm thinking like, based on her flip here and them talking about this, I feel like that's that's going to be part of the good route. Of like him trying to avoid this weakness exposure is the wrong decision. That's what I'm thinking.
Yeah, because then when he comes and like says like I want to do the trial, it comes from a pride strength thing where it's like no, it seems less of like a I want to help you for your sake and like my sake, and it's like the perception is very different for sure.
I think the perception there will be if he comes in and says I want to do the trial. I think she's already now in a mental space where she could do the trial potentially, right? Because she's not just doing it for her, for the village. Now she's doing it to spare Subaru.
Spare Subaru, sure.
Right? And maybe that's the push that she needs. Like, clearly, it had a big impact on her just now. So I wonder. Yeah. I wonder if they'll go or if this is just like a little kind of interpersonal moment. What?
Her, bro.
Oh my gosh.
What's her deal, man?
Oh.
Wow. Dang.
Whoa, he got memories.
Yeah, he got memories from her victims. No way.
Whoa, frick, okay.
That's where all those like images in the background were like memories he was getting.
Oh. Bro, this is like a big revelation. What the frick?
Yeah, what?
I feel like this is like a footnote.
Oh. What?
What the frick is this?
Is this the barrier? Like the source of the... Oh.
What?
That's the elf girl.
Oh, it's the real one.
Huh. Apostle of Greed? What?
Hold on.
The contract that binds us.
Hold on. I never expected you to discover this only half a day after arriving. She said something that's freaking bothering me. It was the memory. Yeah, why was he so upfront about this?
I think because he's planning to die. He's like, I want to see what I can test. He literally just said, I want to see what I can test this time. I think he's thinking he's going to die.
There was someone who was swallowed up by the Witch of Envy. Someone who knew of this place. Is the girl on the left the one who led me here this afternoon?
He's talking about the sanctuary. You know when they were coming in the carriage and he saw a girl in the forest and then she jumped back? Like, I think that's what he's talking about here.
No, because she said half a day. Okay, a half a day, not a day and a half. Okay. That is unlikely. This girl is one of the guards assigned to this place. I see.
Yeah, it was another who
met
mentioned
you in the forest. Okay. I was thinking of something completely freaking different. I thought they were talking through timelines about, you know, when they met in that one area in the middle of the forest with Garfield and he
before
fucking
she
grabbed him.
Imprisoned him.
I thought they were talking about that time somehow.
Oh, I see.
And I was really freaking confused for a second.
Sure.
Okay. So I see. So they're not talking about any of that. So it is really weird though that he like is so upfront about like the memories and the Witch of Envy. Like she wouldn't understand that. Why would he even explain that to her?
He's just being cavalier with this life. He just doesn't have time to like frick around, I guess.
Okay, and then she calls him the Apostle of Greed. So is he like the Archbishop of frickin' Greed now?
So, in like a hierarchy, I would feel like an apostle is higher than an archbishop. Wouldn't you?
I guess, but like then why? Okay, this is so like fucking confusing, bro.
What's the name of the one from Greed? Cornelius, Regulus, or something?
No, Regulus.
Or I don't know their names, but the one that they met when they also met the Archbishop of Gluttony.
No, he was Pride.
Oh, it was Pride, not Greed.
It was Pride. So they know that he's linked up with. So he's got the sloth witch factor. He's an apostle of greed. Somehow
I don't know how she would know that. I have no idea
how she would know that.
No idea.
And
I feel like we should keep watching because they'll hopefully allude to that.
That's written in the contract that binds us. So they're bound in a contract to serve the Apostle of Greed. Is Mathers also bound in that contract then?
I don't know.
Is the Apostle of Greed inevitably going to be the person that has the time reversing powers that is that person? Or is this just like these people have made a deal with Echidna and anyone who has her like signal, aura, whatever the frick, they're supposed to follow that person, and those two things are kind of
something like that,
tangentially related, but not directly related.
I feel like if we press play, it might tell us. We'll see.
Yes.
I hope Subaru inquires about this.
Yeah.
Copies.
So they're all copies. Oh, they're so cute, dude. Holy frick. Immortal.
Yeah.
Ah. Interesting. Yeah, I was gonna say,
she's a witch?
Wouldn't this be Echidna then? In that way, like she would have.
Yeah, she could pass on an imperfect form. Interesting. That's why they were exploding. It was like a mana explosion.
So she's like one of the first.
Yeah, seems like it.
First four, okay.
Yes. Thank you. Thank you, Subaru, for asking that.
Oh, frick.
But how can she tell that?
Ah.
Ah. Okay.
So he met with her? But maybe he doesn't remember.
Like I cannot defy you. Okay. Oh. she immediately does it.
Oh,
She seems to be acquiring a tiny bit of personality by like holding on to him.
It's a shocking accent to spook like that. Do you think that's why the rabbits are being drawn to this place? Is because of all the clones? No, all the clones. It's like a whole bunch of mana, right? In one spot. The rabbits are probably drawn to it. Right? It's like a feast. All these freaking hundreds of clones or however many there are, right?
Sure.
So,
yeah.
Yeah. Dang. The eyelashes are kind of the same, actually.
Yeah, she's all glowing now instead of shadowy. Yeah, what's wrong with being a fairy? Oh, no. Dang. Okay, let's go.
Huh.
She needs to hear this.
Mm-hmm.
Maybe she will be the one that does the trial then.
Yeah, that's what I'm thinking, right?
Is that maybe the father?
Oh, Otto's so great.
Oh my gosh. Yeah, bro, you're being loud. People are
loud.
sleeping.
Interesting statement.
Yeah. I think he expects to die, maybe?
Yeah.
Oh, jeez, dude. What a mind shift this is.
Oh!
Oh!
Oh, no.
So he still has the stench, huh?
So he was frickin' pretending.
Yeah.
Like, oh, frick.
Dang, look at the determination in Subaru.
Yeah, right?
Oh my gosh. Bro, I am loving this Subaru right now. Dang, dude, let's go. Dang.
That's a good rebuttal.
Bro, little do you know. Yes, he does.
Dang.
I've seen it many times.
That's a different
No
Subaru.
truer words have been said. Yes.
She just walks away.
Oh.
Dang.
I'm the only one who needs to know. Oh my gosh, let's go, Subaru, bro.
Holy frick, there is an epilogue.
There's no. Okay, let's just see. Let's just see. And then I got some stuff to say about what just happened. This is awesome.
Betty cliffhanger incoming.
Oh, of course. Yeah, definitely not in the way she intended.
Yeah, it's kind of
almost the opposite.
Yeah.
But did save him.
Oh boy, here we go. Uh-oh. Oh no. Oh no,
say, I am that
it.
person, and then it's just gonna end.
You're finally here.
Huh. What? She knows? What? She knows he's about to ask. No way, she already knows. Oh my gosh. Oh my gosh, bro. Oh my gosh.
No freaking way, bro.
Dang. Because I guess in this timeline, it's set. Bro, what I was going to say, it's like a subtle thing knowing it, but it's had such a big difference in Subaru. Knowing that there is no end to his deaths. Like, it gave him finally, like, the mentality of, like, I am going to take each life as a test. And I'm going to continue doing it until I get the outcome that I want. Like, that has empowered him so much.
Yeah.
It's awesome. I love seeing Subaru like this. Our boy has suffered so much that he's like, and it's now like, now he's seeing his suffering has a purpose, right? He's like, I'm the only one that needs to know hell. I will do this. I will do as many times as it takes. I will figure it out, right?
It's crazy.
I fear that in one of these tests sometime down the line, the checkpoint's going to be updated to the point where he can't fix a test, and that, you know,
right,
that's going to mess with him mentally, unfortunately.
That's the only thing that can really start freaking with him now, right?
Yes,
it's just like giving him results that he doesn't want and not being able to change it. Oof.
Not being able to change it, yeah.
I mean, like, so potentially...
I fear that's coming, but still, right, like, we're
now... We're potentially already there with Rem. Like, we don't know for sure that Rem, like, we assume because, like, it's the show and, like, Rem will be saved and they'll save her, but, like, we don't know for sure. Right?
I wonder what happens when Gluttony, the Archbishop of Gluttony, eats the memories and the name. Are they, like, in his belly always? Do they somehow get transferred to the Witch of Gluttony and she can, like, give them back, regurgitate them, I guess, and give them back whenever? Right. Is it just gone, right? Is it permanent? Because if it is permanent, there's no getting Rem back. But
Right.
Oh.
Yeah, I don't know.
Go Subaru. Let's go, man.
So, like, she knew that he was coming. Man, I want to know now. Did the book...
This confirms that the book's, like, being updated and stuff. I don't know if it's, like, all the way finished or if it changes, like, you know...
Does it, though? Because is the book, when he came in last video, the last 2 episodes we watched before, was she surprised that he came in? Like, was she surprised as to what was happening? Or has the book changed from this timeline to the last? Or is this like, oh, okay, now it's going according to how I expected it to go because this is what is written?
It's either the last thing you said, I think, which is now it's going to how I expected it to go because that's how it's written, or the book is in real time being updated, you know, a day ahead, a week ahead, whatever it may be, and then every time he dies,
it gets updated, it changes. Now, they don't know it's changed, but it changes in accordance to what's going to happen this timeline. Yeah, and then the other thing is, like, if it's impossible to determine, I suppose, because if Betty's book was updated, that all of these horrible things were about to happen to Subaru, right? Then she'd be, like, panicked. She'd be like, oh, I know I'm going to bring him in, and I know that everyone at the mansion's gonna die, I know that Elsa's gonna come in and kill him. And then she's just like, but I have to. That's why she would be so, like, distraught, because she's like, I know I have to follow the book. If I follow the book, then everything will turn out. But the book is telling me that everyone's gonna die, including Subaru. So why is it gonna turn out? But little does she know that because of her actions and the actions of other people following the Gospels, it does work out, but not in the correct timeline. But that's why Mathers is freaking like, I know it's going to work out because he understands that it's going to be in the next reset. But, well, but then maybe Betty does understand too, because if he knows, why wouldn't she know? Maybe she doesn't know. Maybe he's got one extra piece of information that he's figured out that she hasn't figured out.
Potentially. It's, like, because, like, it's hard to know what's written in the book, is it the same for both? Is it the future of like just things as a whole, or is it just your personal immediate future? Like how does it get updated, right? Yeah, like all that stuff. It's hard to say. Right. I suppose I'm gonna go out on a limb. Well, maybe not so much a limb, but I'm gonna say that I think it's more likely that the book shows you your own immediate future. And so the stuff that it's showing Roswaal is different than the stuff it's showing Betty.
Possible.
And I do think Roswaal has already figured out that Subaru is that person, whereas Betty just now figured it out. Yes.
True. Good point. That's a great point. Excellent point. Yeah, I think you're right about that. That's probably a good interpretation, I think. Okay, well, holy frick, dude. Like, what a frickin'...
We got Subaru 2.0 finally, man.
Yeah, that's crazy, man. What a frickin'
and that also
series
explains... Yeah, that also explains why he was so open with Ryuzu, however you say your name.
Yeah. He's just operating on a whole different operating system now, bro.
100%. He's like, he's accepted the fact that
understanding the nature of the mechanic changes your perspective completely, right?
Yes.
It's less, because like the go-to is like, why are you doing this? Why am I suffering? Why? You know, not understanding how it works, having anxiety about like the updates and stuff. But then once you have that piece of information of like, the witch is trying to freaking control you, bro. She controls the checkpoints. She's trying to make you do stuff. And then it's like, well, then your whole disposition changes from, oh, well, frick 100%. That, why, to, well, I'm going to use this power to frickin' thwart you. You think you could frickin' control me? Watch out.
Yeah,
watch
exactly. It's so cool, dude. Let's go Subaru, baby.
Yeah.
And it's funny too, like he even thinks to himself, there's no point in writing this, but still, even though it's a test, I don't want to make Emilia sad. Yeah.
That's sweet.
Nice of him. Yeah, exactly.
He doesn't want there to be a timeline. And then there's the small chance that you never know. It might work out.
Maybe this is the right one. Yeah, exactly.
Right, maybe it will work out just in case. Yeah. So I was a little bit confused at the end here when he was talking with Garfield. And Garfield had him up against the wall. And he's like, I have a good idea of what gets a reaction out of you. And then there was like a moment of like understanding for Garfield where he backed off and he's like, what are you thinking of risking your life for? So what? I'm confused as to what the revelation that Garfield had here just now was. Like Subaru was using the witch's miasma to bait him into seeing what he would do. And then
no, I don't think it was as deep as using the miasma. It was more so just like Subaru's actions. Subaru's actions were deliberate in Subaru's mind, he's like, I'm going to say this because I'm going to see how Garfield reacts. So that next time I know what I should and shouldn't say. Like he accepted this as a potential death. And he's like, whether I live or die here, doesn't matter. I'm going to get information out of him. And then Garfield perceived that. He's like, wait, you're risking your life just to like try and figure me out? Like what the heck? Right? And then they had the rest of the conversation where... So
he's freaked the frick out that Subaru is risking his life.
Yeah, it's like, why are you so cavalier with your life just to like get this bit of information out of me?
But didn't he talk about the miasma earlier?
Yes. Yeah, he talked about it. He's like, I know I stink, but why are you saying something now? Like, why are you mentioning it now?
But why? My question is like, if he stinks, why would Garfield back off at all? And why would he let him go, especially?
Like, I see it as in, I think, like, I'm putting myself in Garfield's shoes, right? I think Subaru is a danger, and he's going to do something underhanded.
Okay.
And he wants to be alive to do said underhanded thing. He wants to betray us. He wants to do something to the sanctuary, whatever it may be. And then Subaru's like, I'm not gonna betray you. But bro, you're so freaking easy to read. I'm able to like, I'm. He didn't say this, but Garfield, I clearly perceived that like Subaru is acting in a testing manner. Like, I'm gonna test you.
Like Garfield's like, I'm about to kill you, bro. And then
Subaru's and he's just like, oh, I'm just gonna test you. He's like,
yeah, we'll just see what makes you tick then.
Yeah, and he's like, but don't you want to like kill us? Don't you want to harm the sanctuary? Why are you gonna like die?
Like, why are you throwing away your life? Like, I'm about to kill you right now, and you're like,
exactly.
You're just like, oh,
yes,
okay,
yeah. I think that's what he perceived.
So it was convenient for a question for you. It was an inconvenient question for you.
Yeah, like why are you bringing it up now? Like, and I've been thinking this whole time. Why is it now that you're bringing it up?
Well, why didn't you bring it up before is the question, right? Like, it would have been inconvenient for Garfield to ask Subaru about the witch's stench when they were all together. Why?
No, I think this is Subaru talking to Garfield right now. And Subaru's telling him it's inconvenient.
No, because he says you didn't say anything about it yesterday. Looks like that was an inconvenient question for you. Yesterday. That's why I didn't ask it.
Maybe.
Right?
Maybe. Sure. Okay. Yeah. Yeah, but at the end of the day, yeah, he's like purposefully egging him on, right?
Right.
Subaru's like egging him on. He's like, I'm just gonna get him.
That I understand. Yeah. He's just like, oh, you didn't ask yesterday. Why is that? Right? And he's like clearly goading him.
Yeah.
You're so easy to read. Now I've got a good idea of what gets a reaction out of you. So then he's saying, so I think here he's referencing the fact that he just said that he was goading him before just now. Of like, oh, it was an inconvenient question for you. That was the goad. Now he's saying, now I've got a good idea of what makes you upset. And then Garfield was like, you literally just said that. Just to test me?
Yeah, to test me. Yeah, exactly. Which is like, pretend you suspect somebody of trying to do evil to you, the sanctuary, whatever, but they're not acting in favor of that goal. Right? The Subaru's goal here, if he really wants to do evil, is to get out of here alive. But he's like, I'm going to piss you off, man. I'm purposefully trying to piss you off. He's like, why are you trying to get me more pissed? I'm about to kill you, bro. Why are you gonna let me kill you? Don't you want to kill me? That's how I took it.
Yeah, I think you're right. I think it's the right interpretation. I'm trying so hard right now to kind of like put myself in that situation. Like, if I was Garfield, I'm really fucking trying to like.
All right, let's like put it in real world terms, right? Let's say you're a policeman and you catch somebody shoplifting.
Or who like, I think is shoplifting.
Someone, you see someone who you think is shoplifting, but you aren't 100% sure. Yeah. Right. And then you're like, hey, did you just like stuff that in your purse? A normal reaction to a guilty person would be like, no, I didn't stuff it in my purse or in my backpack or in my coat, right? Whatever it may be. Like, I don't have anything. I don't know what you're talking about, officer. But what if they're like, yeah, here's this, $800 iPhone that I just like, took off the thing. I just put it in my coat pocket. What are you going to do about it? Right? Like, your reaction as a cop would be...
No, because then I'd still arrest them. I think it would be like if Subaru said, I am going to commit some evil. You can't stop me, right? That would be the same as saying you actually took the
something
phone.
Like that. Yeah, maybe the example is a little off.
So in this circumstance, Subaru's direct comparison would be the person with the bag being like... what would they say?
It'd be something like, no, I haven't taken it yet, but I'm gonna take that one now.
No. It would be like saying like, oh wow, it'd be really inconvenient for you if I had stole, wouldn't it? Like, oh, you'd have to arrest me right now, wouldn't you? Go ahead, kind of thing, right?
Yeah.
And then the officer's just like,
policeman.
Right, and then they come and they're like, what? So then he makes the assumption. So then the police officer makes the assumption that like because they're goading me, and they look at the person's face, and they're just like, now
it's
obviously,
like, what are you trying to achieve here? Yeah, it put you, the policeman, on the defensive. It's like, are you trying to sue the police department because I arrest you wrong?
No,
or I don't know what, but
yeah, I think it's more like the police officer, because in this scenario, Garfield can't check the bag to see if something's stolen, right? He can only go off of the assumption of like, oh, you're goading me, right? And why would you goad me if I'm imminently about to beat you to a pulp?
Yes. Like, essentially, the policeman scenario breaks down quickly, but essentially it's like if you're guilty, you're not trying to divert attention from your guilt. You're almost calling more attention to it, goading me, acting in a way that I, Garfield, don't suspect a guilty person to act, essentially.
Right.
So.
Yeah, I don't know. It still seems weird that he would let him go, though. It still seems so weird. He must be so freaking convinced for some reason by this action that he's committed here.
Play it from here. Let's see what he says right after this.
Like, you were testing me. You're insane.
You're insane.
I think you're risking your life for. If my life is enough, I'd pretty damn well with the end result. Keep it on mind. I'll let you off the hook. I'll let you go now. Can I guarantee you aren't going to do anything bad to us later? Okay, so he was still not keen on letting him go. So he's like,
but then I think he felt he was sincere here, which he was.
Which he was, because he was extremely convincing. He's like, trust me. Yeah. And he's like, I don't trust him. Like, I know you're trying to hide something. I'm going to find out what it is. I swear it. And he's like, shut up. He's like, I don't give up. There are no secrets. Wasting your time if you try and stop me. What do you want to do to this place?
Yeah, see, he's still hesitant and kind of suspicious of him.
I know it's from hardship, but I want to help you all.
Yeah.
Yeah,
like, he's convincing here.
Yeah, he does talk about, like, he's like, no, I genuinely want to freaking help. Like, I want to help you guys.
And he's like, who do you think you are? Who do you think you are that you're able to, like, you know, uppity BS, right?
Yeah, you want to be some freaking goody two-shoes? Like, what? Why would you want to help us?
And it's not just necessarily goody two-shoes, but he's like, a more of, like, probably that with the addition of, like, the who do you think you are? Like,
right, you think you're
not
so
strong,
good?
You're not, you're not powerful. Yeah. Like, how could you possibly save us, right?
You have no idea
what pain and suffering are.
What we've been through. How can you freaking help? Which I was just like, you don't have to know what they've been through to help them, but okay, sure. It's kind of a weird comparison.
But then here.
Quit running your mouth as if you do, and then he's like, oh, bro, I freaking know. And he could tell from the look of just like, holy frick, wait a second.
Yeah.
I've seen it many times. And he's just like,
I think he just like straight up convinced him. Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah, I guess I just see it. I'm the only one who needs to know hell. Yeah, I mean, if he's convinced that Subaru has seen hell, and then here he's saying, I want to help Emilia, and I want to help the sanctuary, I'm the only one that needs to know this hell. Like, the hell I've been through is so much worse than the hell you know, and I am trying to protect everyone from that hell. I'm the only guy who needs to know, and Garfield is just like, all right, freaking, all right.
Yeah, I think it was just like a straightforward situation if he was convinced.
That's what I'm here for. I know hell. Okay. Yeah, I just, from my own perspective, maybe I must be an unreasonable freaking a-hole, because from my perspective, if I was Garfield, I'd be like, sure. I'd be like, there's no way, bro. You smell like the witch's miasma. You're not going freaking anywhere. I'm convinced that you're a bad dude, but Garfield's much more reasonable than I am. So
I mean, I feel like you'd be convinced in a similar situation. Like if somebody, like if you knew without a shadow of a doubt that when a person said, "Trust me, I've known hell," like I feel like you'd be like, "All right, I got it, all right." Yeah. But who knows? It's obviously hard to say.
Maybe. I mean, if Subaru was a cute anime girl and she just asked to go, then bro. I mean, fine. Maybe it's because it's just Subaru and it just doesn't hit the same.
This freaking dude.
Yeah, I don't know.
One thing I did forget to ask what you thought, because I still don't know what I think. It was actually from last episode. Echidna said that his power is part of the witch's delusion. What does that mean?
Yeah, what does that mean? Delusion. Like I feel like it has something to do with, well, obviously it has something to do with this, but it has something to do with like, well, she's envious. She like with the love, she's like, I love you, and then she switched it to love me.
Yeah, love me, love me, love me.
Like,
and she was willing to keep him trapped in that like
forever until
shadow
he
realm
cracked.
Forever. Yes.
Right, until he changed his frickin' mind. Yeah, I wonder if it's not so much as the witch loves you, but the witch wants you to love her, and her feigning her love for you is just a ruse to get you to love her.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay, but like, why Subaru?
That's the next question, right? The natural question then is, why Subaru? Why not anyone else?
I always assumed up till now, till this episode or last episode rather, that she'd chosen Subaru because there was something innate to him, special somehow. Obviously, like main character energy reason, right? But now, and like I still think partially that there is something like that. Like there has to be. Speaking from a meta perspective, but it now slightly feels a little bit more random. Like, whereas before I felt it was, 100% deliberate. There was something about Subaru and she specifically chose him because of that X factor within him. Now it feels like a 80-20. 80-20, there's still an X factor, like a specific reason why she chose him. But like, I don't know. I don't even know how to explain what I'm thinking. But like, it just, really what I'm saying, it like feels almost like a little bit more random that Subaru was chosen.
Yeah, do you think, because it's one of two interpretations. When she's saying like, if you interpret her as genuine, and she's saying, I love you, Subaru, and then she's upset and distraught that he doesn't love her. So then she flips it, right? And then we can interpret it as like a genuine love that's not being reciprocated. Is it because it's Subaru specifically? Or like if in your interpretation, if it's like random, is it just because he just happened to get picked and he's her champion, basically? And he's like doing the things-ish that she wants. And so she wants this person, this champion to... Like, could there have been like... we talked a little bit about Roswaal being like a Subaru guy who used to have Subaru's powers or Subaru or something, right? So like, have there been other people in the past that have had this ability that she's tried this on, right? And they didn't make it, and Subaru's just another cog in the wheel?
Yes, I used to think that, and now I think that less.
Really?
Yes. So like the other witches, they're weird, but like Gluttony is a perfect example of this. Like she is neutral in like as far as like a morality perspective is,
right?
But she skews towards Gluttony. Like her perception of like, if I do this, everyone can satisfy their hunger. Right. How great! But on the flip side of the coin, everyone can glut themselves. And on the other point, she's like, but whatever I create, should also be able to satisfy its hunger. How could I create something without hunger? That makes no sense.
Yeah, it seems like you're right, that they're like neutral, but they skew to their sin. So they're always going to skew negative, but like not purposefully negative per se, but like a neutrally, like you're so powerful that like waving your hand creates a hurricane. Now you don't mean to create a hurricane, but you like it's waving your hand.
A result of the action.
It's a result of the action that you like to do. Yes. So her thing is gluttony, and it creates this horrible outcome, but she's not doing it out of sheer, maliciousness. It's just out of negligence of anything.
Yes. And so then we bring this over to Envy. I think that this is why she's the witch that remains. She doesn't want there to be any other witches. And maybe it's not necessarily like in the sense of, I want to kill the other witches because I want to rule, or like because I'm evil or whatever. It's just like, that is the natural end point when you skew so heavily into envy, right? And it sounds like all these witches were just doing things like freaking greed wanted to be immortal. That seems like a reasonable endpoint for greed. What's like more greedy than wanting to live forever, I suppose, right?
Right.
And I'm sure that wasn't the only thing she was doing to fulfill her greed and everything.
How wild is it that Echidna created a freaking completely opposite body type? She's like, oh yeah, I'll inherit a lolly body now. I found that so freaking bizarre. Like, which, like, is that her original real body, the like one that we've seen of her, of Echidna? And then like, why would she? I guess the person that she chose is like a normal person that she chose, except
it was just
they
like
weren't.
An elf. Yeah.
Right. They weren't a good enough vessel. Wait. Huh. Don't you think that's weird? The vessel was a half elf or an elf, right? But she wasn't a proper vessel. This is the second instance of that, actually, right?
Yeah.
But Echidna's not an elf.
Yeah, she's not an elf. But the Witch of Envy needs a half elf.
Yeah.
Do we know if ReZero is a full elf or a half elf?
I don't know. A full elf. I think she's a full elf, but maybe that's why it didn't work.
That's why it didn't work. Yes, exactly.
Right. But Satella was a silver-haired half-elf, wasn't she?
Yes.
So, like, did Echidna just not know that you need to match the, like, body, blood type thing? Like, if Echidna's like a human...
Oh, maybe that's what it is.
Maybe she didn't realize that, like, frick, it needed to be another human. And I've been experimenting, but it didn't frickin' work.
Yeah.
It just seems so odd to me that, like, she made such a big flip. I was like, really? Like, you could have picked any other body, but, like, you're just gonna put yourself into the body of this frickin' small frickin' character. It's like, okay. It just seems so weird. I wonder if there's more to that.
Probably. I'm sure there is.
I'm sure there is. Yeah.
I think she was maybe even just trying to find a way to, like, get her soul everywhere or transfer her soul at will or something. Right. I don't know.
Or maybe they live longer. The elves live so long that it's more convenient that way.
Maybe it was something like that. Yeah.
Right.
But, like, Betelgeuse could do it. Why couldn't she? Maybe because it's not part of gluttony? But what within the realm of gluttony gives him the ability to do that?
Sloth?
Or sorry, not gluttony, sloth. Yes.
Yeah. Well, Betelgeuse, I don't know. I'm not sure. He had essentially the same power.
Yeah.
But like maybe but the problem was frickin' what's her face? ReZero
or something. I don't know how you say it.
Lolly elf girl. She couldn't be a vessel enough. Like Betelgeuse is like one entity, but like the witch is a whole nother frickin' thing, right? So maybe he could do it, but like she can't. Yeah.
Maybe he's like a glass half full sort of thing, and so it's much easier to find a glass that'll fit him, where she's like a full gallon, right?
And it seems like he's frickin' maybe deteriorating on a mental capacity the longer he's been around, right?
True.
Seems a little freaking unstable.
But yeah, so like bringing it back though to the witch's delusion, right? Like, and there is still the small possibility that, like Echidna said, she's wrong about some details, and we learned that she is later. But I kind of tend to think she's right, like 95% at least right. It sounds like the Witch of Envy has gone crazy. All the other witches were weird.
Right.
That we just saw.
But she broke specifically.
She's like broken. Yeah, exactly.
Yeah, something happened.
So that's why I feel like it's slightly more random that Subaru was chosen. There's like something happened to the witch, and she's not what she used to be before. I feel like she was more akin to the other witches and doing neutral, skewing towards envy, but not crazy. This is like envy plus. This is like envy and she's also crazy is the perception that I have.
Yeah, I don't know. Yeah, it's a good question. Did you find that, speaking of the other witches, did you find that some of the other witches kind of acted strange to what their stated sin was? Like Wrath, like healed him.
She healed him? And she's like, I'm so angry, I'm going to punch you with hearts and heal you.
Yeah, it's like, I'm going to, like, she talked about love and stuff. I was like, that's the opposite of Wrath.
Yeah.
Right? And then Gluttony was talking about, now, it was clear that Gluttony was gluttonous, for sure. And Wrath was wrathful, in a sense, punching with love, right?
Yeah, it's weird.
So it's like, is that just like a, and then she was sad, and they say that anger, I don't know if this is correct, maybe this is not correct nowadays based on what we know about psychology, but they say that anger isn't a primary emotion, right? Anger comes through sadness. Sadness is a primary emotion, and anger is the secondary emotion that comes through sadness.
Oh, I didn't even know about any of that. What are the primary emotions then?
I don't know. I only know that specific one. And I think that from what I heard this like more than a decade ago, from what I've experienced throughout my life, I would say that that's like more true than it's not. It's not 100% true, but I did notice that Wrath was crying and angry and all this love stuff. So I'm just like, okay, like what is going on here? And then there was some stuff that Gluttony said near the beginning of the conversation that I was like, are we dealing with like opposites? Like, have they been like freed in a sense, or have they been corrupted in a sense, which makes them kind of good-ish? Like, what's going on? Like, I feel like there's something for, maybe it's totally wrong and I'm just kind of interpreting that weirdly. But then what about Typhon? What was she?
Yeah, she was greed.
She was
greed. Or not, no. Pride, I mean.
She was pride. Yeah, right? Like.
So, like, yeah, she's like, are you a bad guy?
Yeah, she was asking him if he was a bad guy, right? And then he broke, and she's like, oh, you interpret yourself as a bad guy.
Yeah. She's like, but you don't feel pain, so that means you're not a bad guy. And then he like broke all the way, and she's like,
right.
Oh, but you see yourself as a bad guy.
Right.
Which, like, okay, A, why does Subaru see himself as a bad guy? B, why does she care who's a bad guy or not? And what does she even define as a bad guy?
As a bad guy.
And then C, why does like falling apart equal bad guy?
Right. Is that just a way of conveying
the eyes of pride? Like,
right. Is it just a way of visually conveying it because it'd be difficult to convey in other ways? Or is it like, is there more kind of like meaning behind it? Yeah. So I just thought that was kind of weird. I thought the way they were they didn't act into their given sin as much as I expected.
Yes. Pride did not seem prideful at all. Like, she just seemed like a reckless, powerful child. Is how I would have interpreted her as.
Right. Well, maybe you could interpret that as pride. Wrath for sure was bizarre. That was the weirdest one for sure.
Yeah.
That was
Wrath
so strange.
Was angry. with like a whole dosage of like a million other things. It's so
so strange, right?
I don't know, but they didn't seem crazy in the same way that
Satella seems actually like she's freaking snapped. Yeah, and it seems like greed and envy are natural enemies. So it's no surprise to me that Echidna is the primary like recruiter for going against the Witch of Envy. It seems like they're diametrically opposed, right? Like greed and envy are super freaking close to each other.
Yeah.
Right?
Yeah.
And it makes sense that like envy
if there's
was
a
like
thing, if
no
they
one
want
else
a certain shiny object, they're both like trying to pry it from each other's hands, right? Yeah.
Right. So like what would be the nuanced difference between envy and greed, do you think?
Such a good question.
Right?
I feel like we have to look up the definition of greed and the definition of envy.
I'm really glad that you said that because I totally agree. What is the nuanced difference between greed and envy? Okay, we're going to ask Brock.
Okay.
Let's see. Greed is an intense desire to accumulate more for oneself, often beyond need. Think hoarding wealth or resources out of a drive for excess. Okay, makes sense. Envy, on the other hand, is a resentful longing for what someone else has, like their success, their possessions, paired with a wish to take it or see them lose it. Oh, right.
I looked up the definitions of greed and envy, and it fits pretty much there. So this is greed. And this
so
is
hold on. There's one more sentence. Greed pushes you to grab more, and envy makes you bitter about what others hold.
Okay. So greed is just a neutral, I want more. And envy is I want what you have.
It's not even necessarily that. It's I don't want you to have what you have.
Sure, yeah.
Right? I don't even need to take it for myself. I just need you to not have it.
Yeah.
I just need to not be envious.
Yeah, listen to these definitions and it fits pretty close with that. So greed, intense and selfish desire for something, especially wealth, power, or food. Okay? Envy, a feeling of discontented or resentful longing aroused by someone else's possessions, qualities, or luck. So that's the noun. The verb is desire to have quality, possession, or other desirable attribute belonging to someone else. So yeah, so it's...
Is the Witch of Envy feeling envy? That's what she must have felt when Subaru said that he loved Emilia, basically, to the Witch of Envy. She must have felt envious, upset.
Yes, yeah.
That he had love for Emilia, and it wasn't love for her specifically.
Yeah. That's why she wanted to go to the mansion. She wanted to go destroy them because...
She was envious of the feelings and relationship that
Subaru felt towards them, yeah.
Right.
And I think maybe he even thought about Emilia in that moment, but the Witch of Envy right then and there was Emilia possessed. And so even if he had thought about her, it wouldn't have mattered because she's not going to out herself.
Right.
Only other people. So
right.
Yeah.
So do you think at some point the Witch of Envy just became envious of people having lives and the world operating, and they just were sick of it? Then they didn't want anyone else to have anything, and they just if they had everything, or if no one had nothing, then envy would be finally satiated because no one would have anything. They wouldn't have to be envious of anyone if the world's freaking over.
Yeah, I don't think she would be satiated ever. But that said, I do think that's why she's the witch that's left. No other witch through their sin would have, even like greed. as much as she maybe even wanted the power of the other witches, she could be temporarily satisfied
by other things.
By other things, yeah. So I almost feel like if envy was out of the picture, given enough time, maybe greed would have done what envy did.
100%.
But envy got there first because that's like her niche, right? That's specifically what she wanted to do.
Yeah, it was more pertinent to what she wanted, more immediate. Yeah. Okay, well, and then again, it just comes down to, like, it makes sense why greed and envy kind of butt heads. They're diametrically opposed in some way, right? Because, like, greed wants everything and envy doesn't want greed to have anything.
Yes.
Right?
Yeah.
So...
And those are the only two, like, sloth, it doesn't really clash with anything else. Like, maybe gluttony and greed, right, at some point would have clashed. But at the same time, like, it's not equal to envy and greed. And I guess envy really clashes with everybody, obviously.
Yeah.
But yeah, like, I think those are the only two that would probably, butt heads in that way.
Right.
Like, pride, like, I guess.
Bro, you know who didn't show up and is totally in character and along with their sin? Sloth. Sloth decided not to show up.
Yeah, he just didn't care.
Just didn't frickin' decide, I can't be bothered. And I wonder who it could be. I wonder why Sloth didn't show up. I mean, it's probably not Betty. Okay, I understand.
Yeah,
it's
so
probably
who
not.
didn't show up? We had right there greed. We had pride. We had wrath. We know who envy is. And we had gluttony.
Right.
What are we missing? Let me look up real quick. 7 deadly sins.
I'm doing it right now, actually. Okay, so 7 deadly sins are lust. Yeah, that. Oh, right. We thought it was lust initially. Wrath because of the hearts.
Yes, because of the hearts. Yes.
Right?
Exactly.
That was weird.
Very weird.
Yeah.
Very
Gluttony
weird.
was like more or less as you expect. Greed is greeting. Sloth didn't show up. Wrath was kind of weird. Lust, she's probably in the bed. Envy, well, we know what's going on with envy. And then pride. So the only ones we didn't see were lust and sloth. And we saw gluttony. We've talked to greed. Envy is a known quantity. Wrath was there and fricked him up. So yeah. Huh.
Okay.
No, wait. Wrath healed him. Pride fricked him up. Yeah. So,
Yeah.
Okay. Very strange.
Weird.
And of course, we end on the cliffhanger with frickin' Betty. But oh man,
I know.
We're going to get the greatest fricking answers next
Thank frickin'
episode.
goodness, dude.
Yeah.
And she knows. She either figured it out or the gospel updated to inform her about this new timeline.
Oh, I can't wait to know about these books. I can't wait.
What are the odds you think that this is a set timeline? A quote-unquote good timeline?
It's a good timeline? It's pretty good, honestly.
Because Elsa still shows up, but
everyone's out of the mansion.
Yeah, Betty can freaking teleport them over. I don't know what her powers are, right?
Right. Yeah. Betty's going to help with the barrier. So he's going to talk to Betty. This is what's going to happen. I'm going to spoil the whole next episode, okay? Betty's going to talk to him. We're going to get a bunch of answers. She's going to freaking devote herself to him because she's bound by a contract to obey him. She's going to come over to the sanctuary, and then she's going to break the barrier or something, or help in some way.
If she is sloth, although I don't think a witch would ever be bound by a contract, but let's just continue with that theory for a moment.
Okay.
Then, maybe she could probably break the barrier. If she's anything weaker than a witch, she can't, because that was put by Echidna. So, the only instance I could see her breaking the barrier is if she's also sloth and uses her own witch power to match another witch.
Right.
But we'll see. Okay.
Yeah. All right. Very good.
All right. Well, good stuff. My goodness. Thankfully, we got some answers. I didn't think it would happen, but it did. We know now, well, for all intents and purposes, we have enough knowledge to satisfy my desire to know how the checkpoint works. Thank goodness.
George's greed has been sated.
Yes, exactly. But all right, well, a huge shout out and thank you to the community for choosing this anime as one of the 4 to vote on, and to our Patreons and channel members for actually voting on it.
Yes.
Huge thank you for that. If you want to see this 2 weeks ahead of time, go ahead and check out the Patreon or the channel membership. But with that, we'll see you guys next week for some more ReZero. Take care.
Everybody.